I'm a mixed methods researcher and I recently completed my PhD from Cardiff University this summer, so I'm currently adapting to my post-PhD life following my graduation. I started my PhD way back in January 2020, and the world feels very different than it did last time I had a break from my studies, so I'm coming to terms with that, whilst hopefully trying to make the most of this time I have now as well. My PhD topic involved an evaluation of patient safety in eye care services, and I actually applied and interviewed for the pre-funded position. My PhD supervisors had already secured funding for the position before advertising it, which made for a nice and easy process for me, as I just had to prove I was the right person for the role. There were lots of changes that had to be made throughout my PhD due to pandemic-related issues and delays, but this really enabled me to gain more of a sense of ownership over what had been quite a predetermined PhD, as I had more decisions and problem-solving opportunities than expected. It definitely felt quite strange when I got to the end of a pretty intense experience of finishing a PhD, but it's felt like a really transitional period in my life, and I've managed to adjust since this. I've been really trying to get back to doing the things I love now that I have more time on my hands. That's included lots of trips away, concerts, seeing my friends, and just soaking up the sun whenever possible. I think the most important one would be to take more breaks throughout my PhD, because in my first 2 years I only took about 3 weeks off in total. I mistakenly thought that working myself for increasingly longer hours all week and weekends would produce better results for my work, when in reality it just meant that I was getting ever closer to burning out. I feel like I managed my time best in my third year of my PhD, as I made full use of my holiday time for the first year, and I found that having consistent breaks really helped my motivation to get things done, and my productivity really benefited from this. I'm currently working through a few manuscript drafts for future publications for my PhD research, as I now have a way more relaxed timetable to get them sorted than when I was trying to write up my PhD thesis. I prioritised writing my thesis after gaining my first author publication in my third year, as much of my work needs to be published to develop the field of research. So now I have very polished chapters that made it through the scrutiny of all of my supervisors and my Viva examiners. I'm in a good position now to get some publications out. I am really passionate about being able to do research that can lead to real-world changes, as that's how I gain the most value from my work. Currently, there just isn't the right opportunity for me to continue on and do a postdoc, as the field I was researching in for my PhD is so new. For me, that means looking for research-related roles both inside and outside of academia. I'm hoping to get a role that is relevant to evaluating healthcare, as that ensures that I can remain in a public health-related space and hopefully bring some benefits to patients.